Alright guys, what's up? I'm going to be showing y'all some fishing knots that I prefer over any others. There's probably going to be like 4 or 5, maybe even some more if I can fit them in. I would normally have bigger line or brighter line, but right now all I've got is this 14-pound and this little octopus hook. And I'm going to show y'all some of the knots. I guess I'll work like simplest to hardest or something of that sort. I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to do it. But let's start off with, I know the simplest and one of the strongest knots you can tie, the polymer knot. So what I like to do, let me get it. It's really hot right now, so it's difficult to sit out here too long. But okay, first thing you want to do is put that line through that hook eyelet like that. You'll get it, come get this right here, and come back around, put it through that eyelet again. It should look like this. Well, if I don't drop it. Okay, yeah, right here. Go through the eyelet, come back. Alright, there's halfway through the knot. Then you'll get it. Alright, you'll hold the line like this. You just switch hands to wherever your dominant hand is. You have this, see, look, see that? You'll take it, come around this knot line right here, that line right there. You'll take it, it's the loop line, and come around the straight line and go into that and end up with that. Okay? Then, after you have this, you want to take this little loop you have right here. You see that little loop right there? You want to get it. You want to get it and put the hook through it like this. See? You have the loop. You put the hook through the loop. You make sure it's up above the eyelet. And you pull and cinch it down. With this knot, you don't really have to, you can't mess it up, really. If you do those right steps like that, you truthfully can't mess this knot up. Like, it's very, very difficult to undo. I haven't been able to do it, and I really haven't got broke off on fish. Or, not really broke off, but the line hasn't pulled, you know. But you see, that knot should be like this. Get the focus, there it is, like that. So that's one of the knots I really like. I like to use those on J hooks. This is an octopus hook, and what I do with these is it'll come up. It's called the snell knot, and also the knotless knot. So yeah, it's the snell knot or the knotless knot, and I like to use this for I like to use this polymer knot for bass fishing, crappie fishing, anything that you can really use lighter line for. The polymer knot's really good with. But the heavier line is where you really want to use it, because sometimes it's very hard to tie an improved clinch knot with 50-pound, 60-pound, 70-pound mono. I mean, it's very difficult. And a polymer knot is what would kind of help you to do that. But anyways, let's stop the rambling and get back to another knot. So the next knot I'm going to be planning on tying is going to be the clinch knot, the regular clinch knot. This is probably one of the most popular knots. I learned it first when I was a little boy, when my dad taught me how to tie knots. This is the first knot I ever learned how to tie. Okay? You come through the eyelet like that. You just have the line together. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8 On the heavier line, the less wraps you need to do. I do about 8 on like about 10 to 20. And then you just put it through that little loop you see right here. That little loop, you just put the line that you wrapped through it. You pull it like that. You cinch down like so. And you pull it. Well, that broke. Yeah, that's the thing about using 14 or anything lighter, is that it can break on your tight pulls. I'm probably not going to edit that out. I might just leave that in there, but show mistakes. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least. And then you get this line right here that you just held in your hand. Put it through that loop and cinch it down. Now what that ends up with, let me cut that tag end off. What you end up with is a very good looking knot that you'll see rows of that line in there. That's a really good looking knot that I like to use for perch. It's really quick. It's not very difficult to tie. And it's not very strong though. That's the thing. It can get pulled very easily. I don't like using it for bigger animals like bass and on up. Or even crappie. I do have to say, if you're going to use that, use the extra step, which is called the improved clinch knot, which is what I'm fixing to get to. And it will help you out a lot. It will give you a lot more strength. Very, very crucial that you need very good knots. If you don't tie a good knot and you hook into a fish, and that's a pretty decent size, it's gonna be a very difficult fight, because you're gonna have to put a lot less tension on it than you would with a good knot. Okay, so now that we've covered the polymer and the the regular clinch knot, I'm going to move on to the improved clinch knot, which is the exact same knot, just with one extra step. In my opinion, I'd rather do that extra step because it helps out a bunch in strength. So like the regular clinch knot, you get it, you put it through the eyelet, pull it, you do about 8 or 9 wraps. I'm not sure how many this is. I'm just going to do it from memory. That's probably more than that. You take this, you put it through that loop you see, and then you have this right here, this opening. You get that tag and you just put through the loop and put it through this loop. Now you have an extra strong knot that you can use for bass fishing. Oh man, hold on. Sometimes you might have to just slide it down a little bit, which is what you do. You just get it and you just slide it down to the hook, and then you just tighten it up like this. Yeah, like that. That's not the prettiest knot I've tied, but sure will get the job done, guys. Right there. Don't know if my phone can get that in the picture, but right there is an improved clinch knot, which I like using for bass fishing, crappie fishing, even catfishing when I'm tying my leaders. It's a very good knot. I like it. Next knot I'm going to teach you, it's going to be the knotless knot. You're going to really need to pay attention because it's a lot of things that go with this. So what you do is you'll get this. Well, first thing, you need to have a leader line like this. Okay, open leader line. You want to put the line through the eyelet, and my line just falls That's not what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. Put the line through the eyelet, like this. And get it, wrap it around the line. Wrap this line that you have extra, the leader line, wrap it around the shank of the hook, all the way down to the point of the hook. Like I would stop now. Then you go through that hook, that eyelet right there, the eyelet of the hook. You go through it. You want to pull it all the way and cinch that knot. Sometimes you have to help it push up. That's perfectly fine. Just means it's really tight. Tighten that up. And this is what you'll end up with. This is what I like using for octopus hooks and bent eyelet hooks. It helps a lot because if you had a regular knot, like a Palmer knot, let's say on this, you have it in the fish's mouth right here. If it pulls up like this, it's going to kind of pull the hook like that. But if you get the snail knot or the knotless knot like this, you'll get it. The hook will set like this. It'll drive itself into the fish's mouth like that. So the fish's mouth is right here. It'll drive into it instead of pull into it, you know? So it'll drive. And that's what you want, especially in catfishing. Very, very, very helpful. Now, the last knot I'm going to cover is going to be the snail knot. It's exactly the same as, it's pretty much the exact same as the knotless knot. It's just you tie it without the leader being wrapped. It's one side of the knot line is what you wrap it with. And let me show you what I mean by this. Let's say you get this. You want to go in. You go over here. Get enough leader line. You loop it like this. It might be pretty hard to see on my phone, but you get it. You loop it back like this. Make a loop like that. See that loop? And then you just want to wrap it around the shank of the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, that was a mess up right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 times with this line. Remember, it always depends on the diameter of your line. Alright, so you'll have that and you'll have this loop down here. You want to take this line, bring it through this loop right here, end up like that, hold it right here, and then cinch it, and then pull it. Alright, let me cut that excess off, like so, right here, and there you go. That is a snail knot. It's very helpful, just like the knotless knot. It's going to pull the hook into the fish's mouth. Excuse me, not away from it. So it's very helpful. That's going to be all the basic knots I know right now. I might make a further video going in depth with all the leader line knots that I like to use. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope it helps. I'm just getting started on this YouTube stuff. I just thought it'd be really fun. And so thank you guys. If you can, try to drop a like. Even think about subscribing.